When a large-scale disaster occurs, natural or man-made, such as earthquake, tsunami, flood, and industrial fires, many complex tasks have to be performed by multiple actors under time pressure, resource constraints, and often in adverse conditions. Major disasters involve several organizations in the rescue operations, such as governmental, non-governmental, and communities like Red Crescent. This diversity of organizations generates a massive amount of information exchange and needs a close coordination in order to have effective collaboration and decision-making. In such disaster situations, traditional communication services such as cellular mobile networks and internet access may be overloaded or completely inoperable, leading to chaos among these organizations. Several projects have been conducted on the use of information and communication technologies, ICTs, for disaster management. ICTs offer a great potential in supporting the important needs for communication and information sharing in these situations. Among the most active free open source software projects, Sahana and Ushahidi are becoming more and more popular. Sahana is a free open source software platform built specifically to help in disaster management process. Sahana was initially developed by members of the technological information community in Sri Lanka. Their goal was to provide solutions for the relief effort following the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. Sahana is a web-based collaboration tool that includes modules for crisis response. For example, finding missing people, managing volunteers, and much more. Sahana Eden is one of the Sahana projects that provide a solution to manage organizations, people, projects, inventory and assets, as well as collecting information through assessments and providing situation awareness through maps. Ushahidi platform is a tool to easily crowdsource information using multiple channels, including SMS, emails, Twitter, and web. Born in Kenya in 2005, Ushahidi has grown into a large open source project impacting a number of communities around the world. Since then, it was deployed in the Democratic Republic of Congo to monitor the social unrest. Also, it was used to track violence in Gaza and in India in 2009. Ushahidi uses maps from several providers to give a global view of the disaster area. However, each of these softwares covers partially the coordination and collaboration needs in disaster management. This raises the need for integrating several softwares to support information management for efficient coordination and decision-making in disaster situations. In this film, we show how it is possible to use the above open-source solutions as a single cohesive global system that can be rapidly and easily deployed by the involved organizations. For communication infrastructure, we propose the deployment of a robust communication infrastructure based on wireless mesh networks to cover the affected area. The mesh routers can be embedded in secure buildings or any vehicle, such as fire trucks. This wireless infrastructure ensures multimedia communication, such as VoIP, video, text, files, between emergency rescue teams and allows to collect data in order to get better and real-time situation awareness. To allow the rescue teams to collaborate with the distant command headquarters, we deploy local instances of Sahana, Ushahidi, OpenStreetMap data server, and the SEEP server. Also, we deploy wireless mesh network for the communication. To automatically gather incidents from the heat area, we rely on the wireless sensor network technology. Sensors are deployed in buildings in advance. They have the role of sensing, for example, temperature, fire, dangerous gas leak, water level, and so on. Sensors periodically send signals to their server. Also, when they detect any anomaly, they send alarm report. Moreover, to reach inaccessible areas in a disaster field, we use drones equipped with IP cameras and mobile sinks to gather information from sensor nodes. Our team has developed a module that extends Ushahidi with a new information channel provided by sensor nodes so that all gathered information is directly displayed as events on a Ushahidi map. In the following, we present a scenario produced by our team at CERIST that shows the use of our solution in response to different disasters. Note that the actors and incidents are unreal. Voice over IP can be of a paramount importance for saving lives in a disaster. For example, VoIP can be a good alternative to traditional GSM networks when GSM infrastructures collapse after a disaster. The most attractive features of VoIP is its cost-saving potential. Indeed, VoIP needs only a VoIP server and VoIP clients, and it is independent from the network type, which makes it easy to deploy. In our scenario, we have deployed VoIP by using an open-source solution. We have used Asterisk as a server and Cphone and Xline as clients. Thereafter, we tested calls between the headquarters and agents in the field. Agents were connected to the wireless mesh network via access points and used Cphone on their smartphones. The quality of the VoIP communication was clear and good. Here we can see how the communication is established. ALGERIA Post Office owns new technologies of information and communication. For example, sensors are deployed in the different floors of the building to detect any incident. Sensors wirelessly send alarm reports to Ushahidi CERIST instance via the access point number 11 of the mesh network. Last weekend, an electric spark causes a fire in the post office of ALGERIA. Right away, sensor 004 placed in the second floor detects this fire and sends an alarm report. The command center receives a new report on Ushahidi about a fire detected by sensor 004 at ALGERIA location. All reports sent from sensors are automatically approved and verified. We click on the report title to see more details about GPS coordinates and the location on the map, and more description details such as the sensor temperature and CO2 level. This report can be seen on the global map by the crowd. Here we find the sensor report. A few minutes later, Fatima in her car passes near the post office of ALGERIA and sees the fire. She uses her smartphone to report the fire through the application of Ushahidi CERIST instance. To submit a new report, Fatima adds a title. Fire in ALGERIA, and her description of the event. I'm seeing a fire at ALGERIA post office, and selects the fire category from the list of categories. For the location, the application takes the current GPS coordinates of the smartphone. and then uploads the report. At the command center, the administrator logs in through its interface to check the new reports. By clicking on Reports tab, he finds the new report of Fatima. Fire in Draria. He clicks on the title to see more details, such as the location, the title, Fire in Draria, the description, I'm seeing a fire, and the category, and so on. After verification, he clicks on Verify and confirms and approves the report. Now the report appears on the global map and can be seen by the crowd. To respond to this event, the command center uses incident module of Sahana. The admin creates a new incident. He enters the same information as received from the sensor and the citizens on Ushahidi. Incident module helps decision makers to manage different incidents and all their related events and keeps trace of all operations done in the heat area. For example, he selects the location of the incident on the map. After entering information, he saves the incident. The administrator can add photos, documents, and tasks with human resources. The command center decides to send 2 firefighters to extinguish the fire. To do so, on the Responders tab, the admin assigns 2 responders. To see the availability of the responders, the admin checks the staff list. He selects Mustafa as the ambulance driver and Rashid as the fire truck driver. He enters the first one, assign, and then the second one. Now the 2 human resources are successfully assigned. The command center uses VoIP to communicate via the mesh network with staffs. It calls the civil protection to extinguish the fire. The Algerian civil protection succeeds to extinguish the fire and to evacuate the victim affected by the fire. While in the ambulance, the emergency responder opens the fire incident in Sahana. On the tab Affected Persons, he clicks on Add Record to add a new victim, called Daas Omar. He introduces all the information about this victim. Reporting victims allows, for example, hospitals to be prepared to receive victims and call all adequate doctors. He adds the victim and adds a comment about the situation. He is seriously injured. And then suddenly, the gendarme mobile unity number 5 discovers a road closed. This road is the same that the ambulance driver is taking. So one of the gendarmes reports the road closed using his tablet via Ushahid. The gendarme types all the information and selects the category Road Closed. Then he takes a photo of the road closed. When he uploads it, the report is automatically approved. On his way to the hospital, the ambulance driver notices on his tablet the report submitted by the gendarme about the road closed. That is the red way on the map. Then he decides to change direction and takes the green way, which is longer but safer. As we can notice, the time is critical, and without real-time information, the ambulance driver may stay a while to discover that the road is closed. Thus, with such technologies, we can save time considerably by having situation awareness in real time. As a consequence, decisions will be made rapidly. An earthquake of magnitude 7.2 hit Algiers. The epicenter was at Benaknoun, and the CERIST building was shaking strongly, causing human and material damages. Responders find Block B inaccessible and the entrance completely destroyed. Colonel Hussein Ben Isa decides to send 2 civil drones to inspect the building and look for victims. Each drone is equipped with a wireless camera to send real-time photos and videos. The first drone flies over the CERIST to find an entrance. Finally, drone number 1 finds an accessible entrance through the window of the office number 14. The drone flies over the whole office, and all of a sudden it finds a victim, which appears unconscious and seems to have shoulder fractures. The video is streamed in real time through the mesh network, so to be seen by decision makers. Colonel Hussein Ben Isa sees what drone number 1 is filming through a wireless screen. The second drone is sent through the scale window of the first floor. After a few time, it detects another victim in the hall. The drone catches the maximum information about the victim and his health condition. Thanks to this technology, CERIST workers recognize their colleagues. When the drones return back, Captain Tufik Salhi gets back the video stored in the SD cards of the drones, so to be analyzed carefully. After the collapse of the CERIST buildings, 2 routers were destroyed, causing problems in the mesh transmission. The network admin noticed that some sensors stopped to send their periodical signals due to the transmission problems in the network. The network admin warns Colonel Hussein Ben Isa about that. Then the colonel decides to send a drone into the building to collect information from these sensors. To do so, engineers place a sync on the drone. The mobile sync has the role of collecting data from sensors and store them in its memory. When sensors are placed outdoor, engineers give GPS coordinates of the sensors so the drone pilot can remote guide the drone directly to the sensor positions. In the case where sensors are placed indoor, that is inside buildings, the drone pilot uses the immersion flight concept or first-person view, that is, using special video wireless glasses to see the direction of the drone and to avoid obstacles. A very rainy night causes a flood in Algiers downtown. Citizens start to report via Ushahidi the event. The command center checks recent reports that are not approved yet. There are 2 reports about a flood in Algiers downtown. The admin checks one of them at Didouche Avenue. indeed at Didush Avenue. Then he sees the photo submitted by the citizen. Then he approves the report and verifies it. After the transfer of flood victims to the shelter Camp of Hope managed by the Red Crescent, the manager Karima Haddad notices the need of additional tents. So she logs in with her account to make a request from a warehouse stock. She clicks on Requests and add a new item. She selects the high priority and to whom the delivery is, that is, Saada Warehouse. She also describes what the items will be used for. Needed for disaster victims. And when needed. And saves the request. We can see an overview of this request. We notice that there is no commitment statute yet and no transfer yet. For adding the necessary items, she selects the item tent from the list of items and precises the quantity and saves the request. A window appears showing the warehouses that have available tents in stock. She decides to request. On the other side, the responsible of the Red Crescent warehouse, Ahmed Gawawi, logs in Sahana system. He chooses the facility that he manages. Then he checks new requests to match them. He notices the new request from Saada warehouse. He verifies the tent's availability in his stock. Yes, it matches. Then he decides to send a shipment. And then confirms. Now the transit is completed. After receiving the tents, Karima Haddad confirms that the shipment is successfully received. Now both Karima and Gawawi can see that the transaction is fulfilled. Here is an overview of all the request process in Sahana, from requesting items to sending and to receiving them. Note also that this module can be used for requesting assets such as vehicles or electric generators and human resources like staff or volunteers. The lesson that can be learned from this film is that thanks to these technologies, many lives can be saved.